2-2 the count as Pena lifts one in the air to left field. It's hit pretty well. Schwarber's back at the wall, and we'll watch it go. Jeremy Peña lofts one into the seats in left for a home run, and the Astros go on top 2-1.
Zero energy. I just do not understand it. For the life of me. You're calling a bleeping World Series game. And Jeremy Peña goes yard. Excuse you, sir. How about you do Jeremy Peña hit a home run today. Jeremy Peña had an RBI single as well today. Jeremy Peña leaping catch. Jeremy Peña expert transition from his glove hand to his throwing hand on a throw to first base. Jeremy Peña. MVPena today. I looked it up. What is the cost of a trademark? It's between $500 and $2,000. GoFundMe.com/Paul Gallant Show. We need to help raise money so that I can trademark Jeremy Peña, MVPena. Who's in? Will you get any of the profits? No. Sean, you won't even get any either. It's all for me. But you guys can be a part of the movement, the grassroots movement, to get that trademarked and to get T-shirts out there. Also, someone's going to have to create a logo. I'm also going to just say thank you and take it for myself. But all of the profits that I get, you could be a part of that.
So we just need the money. Just to recap, we need the money.
Yes.
The seed money for the
right.
to pay for the trademark.
Yes.
We need to learn how to insert that paperwork into whoever we have to insert that into.
We need to find a T-shirt company too.
We need to find a graphic designer.
Yep.
And a T-shirt company.
Yes.
And then we profit. All right.
Everybody wins. Mostly me. But yeah, come on. Who's in? Everybody's in. Peña's the best player on this team. Weird to say, especially because Jose Altuve has actually played pretty well in this World Series, and he had a couple of hits last night. But, I mean, look, still plenty of series left. I don't want to jinx anything, and I'll be honest, as cocky as I want to be, I do feel pretty nervous about Saturday night, even with Framber Valdez on the mound. But Jeremy Peña is your MVP thus far in the series, much like he was in the American League Championship Series. He carried you last night, whether it was in the field or at the plate. It was a phenomenal performance by him. 713-780-3776 to call in or text into the most interactive sports talk show in Houston. David leads things off. What's going on, David?
Hey, I just wanted to comment last night on Verlander. Basically, Verlander, he kind of reminded me of this Tiger Woods. When he get in a jam, he knows how to fix it. I don't think.
Wait. David, okay, so I'm hearing some stuff in the background. Did you just say, Justin Verlander reminds you of Tiger Woods, when Tiger Woods went to jail? Wait, what? What is happening?
No. When Tiger Woods gets in a jam.
All right, David, we're having a tough time hearing you.
You said when Tiger Woods would get into a jam.
Gotcha. Okay.
So even when he's not on his, 100% on day, when he's having an off day, he can still get himself out of trouble well enough.
I still don't feel that way about him in the World Series.
No, I don't think so. I think it's the scene in the movie where both engines are going out on the plane, and we look out, and you're like, it's going to be a splash landing.
Yeah.
Because
where's Sully?
That's how the fifth inning was, just to get Verlander enough innings to get the win in the statistical way. That's what I feel like we went through last night.
Verlander landing that plane was like Denzel Washington slamming a fifth of vodka, turning the plane upside down, and landing a plane.
Now you're thinking about Tiger Woods again.
I thought I heard he said Tiger Woods went to jail. And I was like, wait, Tiger Woods jail with his wifey when she, took the clubs out? Tiger Woods going to jail after that accident that he was in where there were a lot of what the hell is going on here that never really got answered. Classic Florida. Classic being the mayor of Jupiter, Florida. Remember when he got in that SUV accident? And I mean, there's all the telltale signs that maybe something else was going on because he's going 100 miles per hour.
And there's no signs of braking. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was weird.
a little strange, especially considering Tiger Woods' history. All right. You can twitch.tv/ESPN 97.5. King of all Twitches says, Paul, be ready for copyright infringement for your MVPena because Eddie Vedder will come after your Seattle leaving ass. That is a fair point. Eddie Vedder, low-key, massive grunge fraud. I learned this when I was up in Seattle. Eddie Vedder was very much like, hey, I don't want anyone to talk about me, but he actually wanted people to talk about him. The Corduroy Jacket song. Corduroy's a great song, but he's like, why is everyone wearing my jacket now? Why does it cost so much money now? Things I learned while in Seattle is that even though I like Pearl Jam's music, I shouldn't like Pearl Jam and their vibe as much. Nirvana was authentic to grunge. Pearl Jam, lace curtain grunge, bougie grunge, yuppie grunge, stolen valor.
How much of that, though, is that Kurt Cobain died before he got to be Eddie Vedder, fake grunge?
Well, that was
I think they died. I think he died like right at the perfect point where he didn't. We never got the bad side of it. It was all the right up.
It's a fair point, Sean Mapes. Listen, authentic grunge, you got to die.
That is true. That is true.
Which is really sad. Like grunge music is my favorite genre, and I mean, shoot, the only one still going is everybody in Pearl Jam. So I don't know. Just throw the question out. Even Chris Cornell. Chris Cornell was the best of all of those guys in there. Pena was great. I mean, it started off the first inning. He's got the RBI single. I don't know why the infield was playing in. Here is, I would imagine, a very low energy play-by-play call by Dan Schulman on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5.
The 0-1, and it gets through. A ground ball up the middle and into center field for an RBI single.
This is insane.
And Altuve and Pena combined to give the Astros a very quick 1-0 lead.
But can we please, can someone give Dan Schulman some, I don't know, uppers? Can we put some Adderall in his coffee?
This is actually, all these highlights are actually from a June Sunday night baseball game that he's calling, and he doesn't actually know that it's the World Series.
Seriously, Sean, I'm shocked. This is terrible.
Do you think it's the Citizens Bank crowd?
Yeah, that's it. They didn't bring it, you know?
It's not just the players that feed off the Citizens Bank crowd. It's also the broadcasters. And when they're not going nuts, I feel like they're like, oh, yeah, I'm back in May. This is, there's half a dozen guys that no one on planet Earth knows.
Yeah. Philadelphia is one of the more fraudulent sports towns out there. I mean, they love to talk a big game. I respect Eagles fans. They do care, even though they're miserable people. Phillies fans just started caring. For example, my mom's texting me in the first inning last night, and I'm like, Mom, you're a Rays fan. Can you stop with this? She's texting me like, and also the worst part about watching these games on the streams, so if you're watching it on Fubo TV, you're like 2 pitches behind. So I couldn't look at my Twitter or at my phone for the majority of this game because I kept on seeing spoilers of things that were just about to happen. So that was making me lose my mind. But yeah, the Phillies fans, like, they were very casual, and I understand it. But last night, how many of them were actually watching the game at Citizens Bank Park? Be honest. I know that they were all wearing their Philly stuff. Ooh, look at the Phillies wearing their throwbacks. Ooh, my gosh, it's maroon and light blue. Even though we're hashtag Red October. You know, all of those people deep down were looking at their phones to watch the Eagles actually keep the Texans in the game for a lot longer than you would have thought. Texans were at least scrappy last night, and they did cover. So credit to Davis Mills and company. Damian Pierce is a beast. I love that guy. Back to the actual game itself. Jeremy Peña was asked after the game, where he went 3 for 4, had the home run, had 2 runs batted in, helped move Jose Altuve into scoring position for the insurance run on that ground out by Yordan Alvarez. He was asked if he's realizing how well he is filling in the shoes of Carlos Correa, and if you don't love this guy already, you're going to love him even more after this answer.
So, I never saw it as I had to fill in shoes. I just had to come in and be myself, play my game. But, at the end of the season, once we accomplish our goal, which is to go all the way, then I'll sit down and reflect on, the journey. But we know there's still work to do, and we got to lock in.
I'm my own guy. Loved hearing that from him. This was a very, very difficult place to be put in when you're the rookie who, for your entire career, you have been thought of as a defensive specialist. you bulked up, and you come into this year, you hit 20-plus home runs. You're filling the shoes of a guy who has his fair share of amazing playoff moments, and you have picked up where he left off, and you could argue he has gone even further. Again, 1, potentially 2 games left in this series. I don't want to make comparisons too early to guys who have been just incredibly clutch in the postseason for the Astros. But if you're not getting George Springer in 2017 vibes, I don't know what to tell you. He has been that good in every single element of his play and the most consistent player in these playoffs, especially from Game 3 of the Mariners series on. And honestly, he had a couple of big moments in Game 1 and Game 2. He was my biggest question going into this postseason. And I mean, I feel bad now that I asked any questions about him, especially seeing as I am milking Jeremy Peña, his name, and the fact that his first name is Jeremy, for all it's worth. Don't come after me, Eddie Vedder. Please. Don't do it. Bleed Blue on the Twitch says, Paul, it's on Fox. Get some rabbit ears for your TV and watch it live. I actually just remembered right now I have rabbit ears, so I don't. That's my fault. Shoot, I could have watched this on non-delay the whole time.
It took you 5 games of the World Series.
I forgot
to make that adjustment.
Well, so I have one of those setups where I have 2 TVs that are hanging over this little fake fireplace that I have in my condo.
So many brags in that sentence.
I know.
Keep going.
I just wanted to let it breathe for a second. And I forgot that I can't see the rabbit ears because like the TV's hanging over the fireplace mantle or whatever. So I totally forgot I had it.
And
now.
we spend all season complaining about Dusty Baker and how he doesn't make adjustments, how he needs to change things. And here you are, Paul, waiting until Game 6 of the World Series, a clinching game where you're like, oh yeah, I can watch this without delay.
What? I'm an idiot. We know this. If you're listening still,
Also,
you've accepted that I know I'm an idiot, and you're like, but he's charming.
Also, I assume that you're credentialed for both Game 6 and 7.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I know I'm credentialed for Game 6
I was going to say, so you're never actually going to be able to use this information.
That'd be funny if I'm like, oh yeah, I'm credentialed for Game 6 of the World Series, a potential clinching game. I forgot about it.
Whoops.
Miss out on the champagne bath. Are you kidding me? No, I want Jeremy Peña to pour champagne on me. Sounds a little bit sexual. Don't want it to sound that way. Here's Jose Altuve, Astros second baseman, explaining to you, hey, you should have known this about Jeremy Peña. I've been telling you.
You know, he's amazing. He's that kind of player. I'm so happy for him. He's been swinging the bat good, obviously today with 2 big RBIs. And what can I say? Happy for him. I said in spring training, this kid is a superstar, and he's going to bring a lot of good things to our clubhouse.
When you hear someone say that, you're obviously going to think, okay, he's just being complimentary of the kid. They want to give him like the most comfortable setting possible. But as brought up a couple of times on the Twitch, he is an older rookie. The poise, maturity, all of the things that Jeremy Peña brings to the table, it really is something else. There's not a level of cockiness that Carlos Correa had that you've seen from time to time with Alex Bregman. It's really just steady consistency. I know that's a bit redundant. And we look at this team and what's happened over the last 6 years and all the questions that are thrown up. Like, of course, you have Dodger Joe Davis in the 9th inning saying, like, well, for better or worse, Jose Altuve has been the face of the Astros through all this. I started thinking to myself last night, if we're talking about this going forward and trying to separate yourself from 2017 and really just legitimizing what this run has been, which a World Series title would do, which is why I'm a little bit nervous still, even though I should be cocky going forward. I want to make sure that this happens. I really hope it happens on Saturday. I don't think I can handle a Sunday game. But Peña is the new face of this team. Handsome kid, young, cool, calm, collected, delivers in big moments, completely separated from that 2017 run. And it's guys like him that are going to, at the very least, allow some people across baseball to appreciate what this run is. And I mean people that live in other cities. Obviously, we love every second of it. But Peña's a big part of, I think, helping make this team a little bit unhateable. I kind of like being hated, not going to lie. It's a perk of being a great team. This us against the world mentality is fun. It's also fun to rub it in the faces of people who say, oh, you cheated. He's like, yeah, and I got away with it. Classic. But Peña's, I think, going to be the face of this team sooner rather than later. And with a postseason performance like this, my God, I'm frustrated I can't find any jerseys for him online. Baseball does this weird thing where they make jerseys for players before the season, and you can't buy them during the season. I found this out last year because I wanted to buy a Mariners J.P. Crawford jersey, and they didn't have any before the year. Crawford was cool. He came on the Paul Gallant Show in Seattle, and we were boys. Like, he was like Jeremy Peña light. But Jeremy Peña, I mean, come on. And you're right. I'm a bandwagoner. I don't care. I am shameless with my whoredom when it comes to sports. Back off. 713-780-3776 to call in, to text in too. And again, GoFundMe.com/Paul Gallant Show to help me trademark MVPena. You might get some of the profits, and by might I mean you won't, but it'll be cool. You can be a part of the grassroots movement.